'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar fade?
Hey, let's kick this off,
He
Donnie.
asks me a question and then doesn't stick around for the answer.
Because you never answer me anyway.
Well,
Hey.
you got that right.
Let's go, Donnie Iris.
There's mine.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1638, October 13th, 2025. 84 degrees on this day was the record high. That was in 1956. And as chilly as 22 degrees on this day in 1917. Do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
This, in some states, I believe it's still Columbus Day. In this state, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Are schools in session?
Yes.
What? Why, I wonder? Why, that's good. I think they should be, but so only what? Banks are closed and no mail. That's it?
Some government entities are, but it hasn't. Columbus and Indigenous Day hasn't made the big jump to the major holidays.
I think this state could survive. I think it could handle the trauma of the reinstallation of the Columbus statue on the grounds of the Capitol. I don't think it has to be put up there for purposes of flaunting anything. Put a plaque up that says this guy is important, but we don't think he's all that great, or whatever you want to put. But why is that hidden away in a warehouse?
Well, for that matter, throw in a great Native leader.
You know what else I'd do? If I ran a TV news station, I would not air any stories where the subject, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I saw a piece last night on some school or something that they used to have a swap meet for Christmas decorations.
Okay.
And apparently the idea is that prevents them from being thrown away. So this might have been the brainchild of a Hennepin County recycling and assistant third shift leader or something. And then the TV cameras were there, and it was old Christmas ornaments.
Okay.
And you could show up and bring the stuff you didn't want anymore, but then you might see some Christmas ornaments that other people brought in that you might like, and you would take them. It was all free.
Like a trade up or a what do you call those?
I got it. We got it.
Okay.
A swap.
Joe, this is something I could see Matthew going to.
But let me finish the point. There wasn't anybody there.
Yeah,
Well,
except
then
Matt.
the pickings are good.
It was 3 people were there.
May I offer a solution for the Indigenous Peoples Day? As it is right now, it's an insult to Native Americans and Columbus and the Italians. Stop this nonsense. Give the Indigenous people their own day.
Their own day. Yep.
Just give it to them. We all know about Columbus and when he got here and his intentions, and we know there were people here before him, but let's honor him anyway. What the heck? You know?
Well, our president has.
Well, yeah, I'm aware that he said some things that were probably hilarious, but I think in order to make all sides happy, we give them both their own different days.
Why did we start a Columbus Day? I'm trying to look that up.
Because until people looked at it with more sobriety, more of a focused eye, they believed that, he landed here at Plymouth Rock and had dinner with the Pilgrims, and then the Easter Bunny came, and the whole thing went to hell because Santa Claus wouldn't weigh in.
Well, it says the first Columbus Day celebration took place October 12th, 1792, when the Columbian Order of New York, better known as the Tammany Society, held an event. Tammany?
Jesus, Matthew.
Held an event.
Did you ever hear at Tammany Hall?
To commemorate the 300th anniversary of the historic landing. So 1792 they started this.
Yes, Chris?
Today we have your Columbus Day proclamation for Monday, which we're signing a bit early. Christopher Columbus obviously discovered the New World in 1492. He was a great Italian explorer. He sailed his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, across the Atlantic Ocean and landed in what's today the Caribbean. But this is a particularly important holiday for Italian Americans who celebrate the legacy of Christopher Columbus and the innovation and explorer zeal that he represented.
In other words, we're calling it Columbus Day.
Yes. Are we going to get a history lesson here?
You know why I would have a Columbus Day? If for no other reason than to get those 3 leaking tubs across the ocean. That was quite a feat. That had never been done before, to our knowledge.
It would be the modern day equivalent of the cirrhosis of the river.
No, it wouldn't be that, Chris, at all. There's no relationship whatsoever.
And Kenny's jalopy.
None.
My mother, Judith, gave my wife, who was indigenous, a button that says, on this day in 1492, indigenous people rescued a very lost Christopher Columbus.
Thank you.
Yep.
May I get to 3 things from GLers who are lovely people, including Charles, who needs a garage wood ruling. I'll be more than happy to provide him one. Mayor, please provide a garage wood ruling. I will be moving to the lake place sooner than later. Enough of this city life. Does garage wood move with me, stay with the house, or taken to the dump? As always, hail the Flashlight King. Regards, Charles. Well, obviously you would never take it to the dump. My ruling would be the garage wood goes with you.
Because the other guy that's moving in has his own garage wood.
Either that, or in rare cases, you know well the person to acquire your house, and you might, as an act of kindness, want to leave him some garage wood. But in my garage wood has always traveled with me. I still have it. In fact, I used a piece the other day, and if I was sharper on social media, I would have filmed what I did. I got a piece I was putting the tabs on the CP's license plates, but the front one was bent. And so
you made it a project.
Oh, hell yes.
Yes.
The real value of time.
Yes, exactly.
So I took the plate off and I got a piece of garage wood and I placed the plate on top of the garage wood and carefully, like a stonemason or an artist of some type, a geologist, I went around and I tapped that license with a hammer till it was perfectly straight and then put it back on the car and replaced the garage wood in the neutral corner where it resides. Because what is the key to garage wood? You will need it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You will just need a piece of that wood at some point. And I had it, and I commissioned an act of restoration on the plate, and
What time
bing,
of
bang,
day?
boom.
What time of day?
That would have been Friday post-dinner time.
Oh, okay. I had you sitting down in the garage in one of your nice boat chairs, and then maybe having a sandwich after that, and just replaying it through your mind what you just
No,
achieved.
that was not what happened.
You managed to take bending over, bending down, grabbing it, straightening it into what, like a 90-minute project?
Right. You're slapping that tab on there, and I'm out the door. Let's go.
No,
And then you tell us about it like you're Ernest bleeping Hemingway. Joe, I love you, man.
it's
You
always
are fantastic.
it's all. I'm doing this on behalf of Charles Bednar to instruct him that the wood is something that should remain with you. You will need it at some point.
The weather was angry that day.
Yeah, admit it though.
Yeah,
Every one of us had a mental picture of every move that Joe made that when he.
100%.
And then when it's done, he stood back and did this with his
Yeah,
hands.
well, yes. Well, that's where I saw him sitting and eating the sandwich,
I
but it was
might
too late.
argue. I might argue that was the point of the tale. I have wonderful letters from GLers, including this one, a name I'm not supposed to issue, so I will not. And if I didn't know better, I would swear this was from one of my uncles who was a school teacher. Hi, Joe. I listened to your podcast the other day when you were discussing how too many young people today are allowed to dodge personal responsibility thanks to misguided adults providing them with a BS disability diagnosis. It called to mind this episode from my life as a high school English teacher, which is what my uncle was. That's why I said if I didn't know better, I thought, but he's dead, so I don't think it's him.
Right. No, it's not. You can't write.
I had a high school senior, let's call him Billy, who throughout his high school career was notorious for arriving late to his classes. Well, the first day of my first hour class, he strolled in 2 minutes late. I gave him the stink eye and spoke to him after class, letting him know this would not continue. He smiled, nodded, and sauntered out. Next morning, same thing. So I called his mother and encouraged her to get him up and out of the house 5 minutes earlier each morning so that he wouldn't be waltzing into my class late each day. She said that would not be possible because her son had been diagnosed with time perception disorder.
Holy.
And in parentheses, the emailer says, yep, look it up. It's a real thing. Time perception disorder. And he goes on, I wasn't buying it. The next morning, I locked my classroom door when the bell rang to start class, and 2 minutes later, there was Billy banging on the door, demanding to be let in. I calmly told him to head up to the principal's office and spend the hour there, and this became a morning ritual. Well, now it was late May, and graduation day was looming for Billy. Unfortunately, he was quickly piling up missed class hours and was likely going to fail my class. His mother, panicking, demanded that I let her son into my class each day to accommodate his disability. I refused, and let's just say things got pretty tense. My principal, and this is a ray of hope, my principal, to his credit, backed me. So Billy was left with a simple choice. Either come to class on time and make up your missed instruction by meeting with me before school, or fail my class and not walk with your class on graduation day.
Fair.
Lo and behold, a miracle occurred. Billy was cured. The next day, he came to class on time and over the next several weeks made up all of his missing work with me before school. Happy ending. Billy graduated with his class. And I never did get a thanks from his mom for curing her son.
Ooh.
He was cured.
What is Billy doing now,
He
though?
was cured. That's a
without
miracle.
medication.
That's
I love that.
fantastic.
That was a great email.
That's fantastic. As is this email from Paul Hurst.
Wait a second. Are you one of these people that if you arrive on time, it feels like you're late? Because that's how I am. If I get there, if I have to be there at 10 and I walk in at 10, I apologize for being late. Because to me, being on time is being there 10 minutes early.
Matthew, how would you answer that?
Being a sufferer of
Time perception disorder?
perception disorder in a major way, which is a major down point in my marriage.
Matthew,
yes.
it shows that you disrespect us, that you don't think our time
Mick,
is valuable.
Mick.
You think you're more important than everybody else.
You sound exactly like my wife.
Well,
As a guy who
That
shows up,
means you don't respect anybody's time. I said, yeah, I do. I get there. They're like, hey, what's going on?
You know what you do?
Were they like that?
Yeah.
You make
Like
up
that.
for it once
Yes.
you arrive. You pack
make up for
in
it.
60 minutes of entertainment into 45 minutes.
I make you forget about life for those 2 minutes.
John,
Yeah,
I am life,
John
man.
has something to say.
I was
John?
just going to say, as a guy who shows up a half hour before we have appearances, and then the rest of you stroll in at 2 minutes too, I'm just going to be quiet on this matter.
John is always there before I am. Always.
I'm looking at my watch.
I
going,
like to
"It's
be
12."
early.
May I continue if it's not too much trouble?
It's your show, I guess.
All right.
Mostly.
Another emailer, this letter far more serious than time perception disorder, which nonetheless was wonderful. Oh, shoot.
You read the name.
Yeah.
Brad.
Hail the Flashlight King. On Friday, you talked about how to combine humanity with the law. First, there's a saying you might be familiar with. The law is an ass. For about the 1650s, popularized later by Charles Dickens. And a definition for rookie. It is a derisive expression used to criticize the rigid or nonsensical application of the law, implying that legal systems can be stubborn, illogical, or unjust. Immigration law is the law, and under current law, illegal immigrants are to be deported in most cases. There isn't an exception in current law for you've been here a long time and are behaving well. The law is an ass. Good illegal immigrants and bad illegal immigrants are often mixed together in the same communities. ICE will find both types. Remember, the law is an ass. So good and bad get caught and deported. How is someone who's here illegally, already broken the law, able to show they're not a problem? And shouldn't there be a consequence for having broken the law? What would that consequence be if it's not deportation? Deporting even good illegal immigrants becomes a deterrent to coming here illegally in the first place. Not discriminating is part of the policy to reduce the number that even attempt to arrive. Additional points. Reagan granted amnesty to about 3 million illegal immigrants. They had to pay fines, stay out of trouble, and learn English. But no real reforms ever happened, so the problem wasn't solved. Many argued that this amnesty laid the groundwork for where we are today. Obama deported about 2.75 million illegal immigrants with a 2013 peak of 438,000. I don't recall any protests at the time. ICE was used then, too. It would seem to me that today's protests are politically motivated as being more about anti-everything Trump does than generally out of concern for the immigrants. Immigration has been a problem for as long as you've been alive. We've never sorted out how to deal with our neighbors to the south with bad governments and poverty who want to come here. This is the root cause of the problem. It may be intractable. Personally, I think there needs to be consequences for breaking the law. While we are wise in not doing what the rest of the world does, the rest of the world generally deports illegals. If you were able to go to a country and try to work there without legal authorization, you would be arrested and deported. I have stories of this happening to Americans working as wedding photographers. How would I solve this? Temporary visas for seasonal workers attached to your passport. And anchor baby citizenship. One of your parents needs to have legal permanent residency here for you to be born a U.S. citizen. Figure out how to vet those who are coming here to become Americans versus those who are coming here to benefit from being in the country. To me, that's his key sentence. Let's repeat that. Figure out how to vet those who are coming here to become Americans versus those who are coming here to benefit from being in the country. Let in the former, those who want to be Americans, and exclude the latter, those who are here for stuff. No benefits of any kind for non-permanent residents. And usually you are required to be able to show you're self-sufficient to obtain permanent residency. My mother was an immigrant. I have neighbors behind me who are a great family. They're immigrants who came here and have become Americans while still celebrating their cultural heritage, including with fantastic food. Immigration is a net good. Unchecked, uncontrolled, and no consequences, illegal immigration is not. I have more to say, but I've gone long enough. Good luck. Harold from Fresno. Oh, I wasn't supposed to use his name. That's wonderful thinking by a GLer. I can't. That's all logical.
Intractable.
The law is an ass. Isn't that a great?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that great?
Hard to control. Hard to control or deal with is what that is. Intractable.
Intractable?
I had to
yes,
look it up.
yes.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
The law is an ass. It really is.
Yeah.
In some cases. I mean, it really is. You know, you got like Mrs. Alvarez in Kenilworth, Illinois. You know, I went to bat for her, and that's just me crying into my sleeve. Here's a guy who actually thought about it. The law is an ass. I'm sorry, Mrs. Alvaro, but if you've been here that long, you should have become a citizen or something, right?
No loopholes.
I got to get the garage door tuned up.
Would you call us intractable at times?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know why? Because I am making a noise. No, I'm not. The garage door is. And Precision Door has a noisy door tune-up special right now for $149. So if your current door is giving signs that it might act up, you don't want to wait till winter to find out. Get it taken care of now with a 25-point safety inspection from Precision Door. If you need a new door, now is the time to do it. $100 off a single door for GLers. $200 off a double door for GLers. They send out a designer. You get the free consultation. They have models for every budget. It's fantastic because, again, you don't want to do this when it's 20 below and your car can't get out of the garage. Book online at precisiondoormn.com or call 612-263-6985 to schedule either a free on-site new door estimate or a noisy door tune-up special with Precision Door.
Not now, but I don't want to disappoint you.
Is that the bomb? Is this Dylan?
Yes.
What the hell is this hee-haw music?
No way, that's awesome.
It's the end of the world as we know it, but he feels
That's
fine.
very hip.
Joe Souchere.
I love this so much.
This is pretty cool.
Oh my God, I love
It's
this.
hee-haw music.
I'm thinking, who was the guy from Hootie and the Blowfish? Darius
Bob
Rucker.
Hope.
Bob Hope.
I'm
Hootie and the
supposed to
Blowfish.
be talking about
Darius
seafoam.
Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Oh. Hi, Ken.
Matthew, every time you speak, you bring the intelligence level down for the whole group. Maybe
I
just
don't
zip
di-
it up
I
when
don't
it comes to
dispute
music.
that. I don't dispute that. It's accurate.
I was sitting here thinking about the weekend. Did you use any seafoam over the weekend? I know I didn't use any of the motor treatment. I did use a little outboard, though, that had been recently treated. Started on the second pull, ran perfect. Of course, deep creep.
I used some deep creep this weekend.
You did. I did not use any deep creep, but I had pliers, scissors, and a pocket knife soaking. Pulled them out, and they're now in perfect working condition. Thankfully, didn't have to use any. Bugs be gone because there weren't any bugs. I even drove at night, but no bugs. But it's still there in the door pocket in the back seat of the truck where it belongs. That's the big three. The big three that all of us should have on hand for general use and times of emergency. Oh, hey, that reminds me. I was going to remind you guys before the winter, before the snow flies, spray down your receiver hitches with deep creep. And you guys that own trailers, hit those swivel jacks before the snow flies. You got to keep those up and running good before everything freezes up. Now, where was I? Oh, the big three, yeah. You can get them anywhere that fine chemicals are sold. I'm talking about Bugs Be Gone, Deep Creep, and the motor treatment. Proof that Seafoam is a miracle worker in times of bad gas, rust, and smooshed bugs. Seafoam.
Here is your latest Ilhan Omar report on Garage Logic.
Well, she's made it official. Ilhan Omar is endorsing Omar Fateh for the mayor of Minneapolis.
No!
Yeah. And she says she's excited to announce that she's supporting Fateh.
Well, I'm excited to announce that I will be supporting Senator Fateh for the mayor of the city of Minneapolis.
Our Congresswoman, who I'm really excited to have her support.
And with that, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar put her stamp of approval on a grateful State Senator Omar Fateh, who envisions a city that is more equal.
Minneapolis seems to be a tale of two cities, one for the wealthy and the well-connected, and the rest of everyone else.
The Congresswoman believes the 35-year-old senator, a Democratic socialist, can lead with a progressive agenda.
I have trust in the senator's track record that he will find a way to make sure that we have ordinances, legislation that is passing through that speaks to the desires and the needs of the residents of the city.
Fateh's run has not been entirely smooth. He is being accused of campaign violations for continuing to use the term DFL endorsed on his campaign signs. The state DFL rescinded the endorsement after convention irregularities surfaced and declined to make an endorsement of anyone else. Fateh says he is benefiting from a backlash.
People stop me and they tell me that we're really hurt and upset by what happened with the DFL taking back the endorsement.
Fateh continues to deny questions about any ethical missteps, including when he fast-tracked a housing bill without disclosing his wife's alleged business ties to the project.
It was not a finance bill. It was not to benefit my wife or anyone. It was a program integrity bill.
Representative Omar knows both Senator Fateh and Mayor Frey well. She says it's Fateh who is best suited to bring the warring factions at City Hall together. Fateh points to his work on expanding access to opioid detection strips, free college for low-income students, and a deal to keep Uber and Lyft drivers in the Twin Cities as examples of how he can work with different sides. For Jacob Frey, not getting a Representative Omar endorsement is nothing new. He's won the mayor's race twice without it. With photojournalists Louis Carpel and Nick Luneman, Esme Murphy, WCCO News.
No, he's going to make the city equal, just steal more money.
More fraud.
The
more
only
fraud.
people he's campaigning to are those that are here illegally. That's who he's campaigning to.
Who is the rich? She said that there's the rich and the poor.
Democratic Socialist candidates do hold capitalism and wealth in contempt. We've been through this a million times. They will take it upon themselves to rectify that, no matter by what means.
But aren't most Minneapolis rich Democrats? The elite of the who owned the newspaper, the Sylvia.
That was the Cowles family, and right now it's Glenn Taylor family that owns it. Omar Fateh has no business becoming the mayor of anything, much less Minneapolis. His behavior is entirely shady. He has no historical knowledge or context of Minneapolis. He was set up to come out here after failing to win a school board seat in Virginia. He was born in America. He's an American. And he realized there were so many of supporters and possibly relatives in Minneapolis, this would be a good place for him to land, and almost instantly acquired a series of jobs. He's never worked a real job. And then suddenly a state senator and now a candidate for mayor. It's all rigged. It's a game that's being played on us. And good luck to you, Minneapolis. I know many of you probably will vote for Fateh. I don't say Fateh, I say Fateh. Maybe I'm wrong. But Esme says Fateh.
Esme's
Fateh.
piece, my favorite part was when, not to mention he's had multiple campaign violations, and they act as though that's some type of inconvenience to them.
Minor infraction.
He actually went to the Attorney General of this state, who was very agreeable to the meeting, and virtually demanded on moral grounds that the Department of Education continue to cut checks to the food fraudsters. Yep. That's who's running for mayor. And I happen to believe he knew perfectly well the money was being taken fraudulently.
But is he now going to be the mayor and he'll help put a stop to all of that fraud?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it.
Good one.
No. Have you noticed?
Do you think the residents of Minneapolis realize how dire of an election that this is?
I do think there is some awakening. Yes, I do believe that some people are waking up to what's in store for them if they don't become involved and knowledgeable.
Because I know Minnesota's newspaper decided to finally say something about Kupchela's documentary.
Well,
and
I was
how,
just about to bring that
what
up.
to make of this here.
This is about the third piece that's appeared, where the leftists in town, they always call everybody else right wing, so they're the leftists. They've kept trying to figure out a ways to apologize for the Kupchela piece because they believe it does. They're struggling to come up with reasons to indicate why Kupchela's piece called A Precarious State is wrong, and they're really not doing very well. They can't.
We're really, sorry if you're offended.
Yeah, but today they got another one. It's on the front page, and it's written by somebody named Matt McKinney. And I want to just read you my favorite part. It's well-written piece, and either he was ordered to do it or was dying to do it. I have no idea. Where's the part I like? You just have to bear with me. Oh, Democratic Socialists in City Politics. That's the part I love. Because apparently what the radical left cannot abide is having the window opened on the life they've created for us. Everything's a failure. And they're dying to show you that, no, we still had an ice cream festival 2 weeks ago on the banks of the Jordan River or whatever the hell it is. No, the curtain has been drawn back on what really is taking place here by Democratic Socialists. But anyway, this fellow apologizes all the way through. And then he gets to Democratic. It's a long piece. I mean, the Star Tribune is really devoting all the paper you want if you can come up with a way we can tell people that Kupchella was wrong. And they can't. But here, Kupchella's central argument is that Minneapolis is being misserved by politicians aligned with the Democratic Socialists of America. City Council member Robin Wansley, in particular, is framed as the leader of the City Council's progressive wing and someone harboring radical ideas. Well, I defy this reporter to tell me that she isn't. She doesn't believe in capitalism. She wants the government to own it all, says Carol Becker, a writer for the Minneapolis Times website who's long known for sparring with the city's progressive wing and who serves as one of the film's main commentators. Becker's characterization of Wansley as the leader of the council's DSA-aligned bloc is sure to raise eyebrows with City Hall observers. While Wansley is among the most outspoken council members, Council Vice President Aisha Chugtai, who also chairs the Budget Committee, is the DSA member with the most authority. So in other words, you're saying, don't worry about Wansley. Wansley will say Chugtai's the real authority figure here. That's like saying Chugtai has more bullets in her rifle than I do. That's ridiculous.
Like the shell game.
Wansley is never interviewed. Well, Kupchella tried to interview her. Wansley is never interviewed, nor are her supporters. Who in the hell would they be? Kupchella said he read her campaign website, but it's not summarized in the film. Wansley initially told the Star Tribune that Kupchella didn't ask her for an interview. I bet that's a lie.
I find that hard to believe.
Kupchella said he did. Wansley replied that he sent an email telling her he was working on a public education campaign that would use video storytelling to better understand the DSA's rise. Thinking that the Twin Cities DSA was in a better position to help him, Wansley referred Kupchella to the DSA. At no point was it indicated that the project involved a documentary or focused on policies on City Hall, Wansley said. Well, Wansley might as well be saying, in no way was I warned that he was actually going to reveal how dreadful we've made things in Minneapolis.
Plus those thick layers that you have to get through
I didn't really want to be quoted if he was going to point out what the problems we're facing, the problems we've created.
It looks like she talked herself into a corner here. Am I reading this wrong?
Yeah, no, she has.
She said that he didn't ask her for an interview, but then she seems to know everything that he's up to.
Yeah. Kupchella said he wanted to show viewers the nature of the DSA, which is a foul nature, and focused instead on a political platform he found on the website of the National Democratic Socialists of America. I have the platform. I've read it. It says, among other things, that the DSA wants to free all incarcerated people, abolish prisons, end all misdemeanor offensive, and cut funding for prosecutors. That is factual. Wansley said some of the claims attributed to her were comical. What incarcerated individuals have I freed, she asked. That's not the point.
Right. Again, she's completely missing.
That's not the point.
Right.
City Council member Jason Chavez, another fellow who should not be in politics, along with Wansley, told the Star Tribune that the isn't it funny? They responded to the Star Tribune for any time they wanted.
What do you need?
What do you need?
So should I just start when I'm
not done. City Council member Jason Chavez told the Star Tribune that the DSA isn't a national political party. Yes,
wait a second.
Yeah, it is, Jason.
Hello.
But a
Jason.
movement
Hello.
that prioritizes local autonomy and democratic control. I have never said I'd like to fire prosecutors or free every single prisoner, he said. Again, that's not the point. Kupchella, in an interview, insisted that the National DSA's document was significant. Of course it is. It's the mothership, he said. We told the story of the organization that Wansley is allied with. Yes, you did.
According to their website, dsausa.org, who we are.
They've been trying to sanitize it, by the way.
The Democratic Socialists of America is the largest socialist organization in the United States. It's over 80,000
But
members.
not to Jason Chavez.
Right.
It's just a little local outfit. Well, you can read it for yourself. They excuse the people leaving for out-migration. They contest that Garofalo was wrong. Real estate and downtown development. Here's the deal. The DSA are Marxists. They are inexperienced young people, products of the failed academy. They have no experience running cities or running anything. And they have worked hard to scam the caucus system, which should not exist. They have worked hard to scam the caucus system in their favor. They successfully hold a majority of seats on the city council. And if you don't believe me, recall that even if the council members do not officially call themselves DSA, they vote with the DSA in a preponderance of issues, including Elliot Payne, who votes with DSA 98% of the time. So they're DSA, they're ruinous, and they are angry. I don't think they're capable of embarrassment or shame. They're angry that Kupchella came along and with the backing of people who want to save the city or at least want to point out how miserable it is, puts together this documentary. And I think I asked Kupchella the other day, I called him and said, well, look, I feel it's important for me to know who sponsored you. It'll help me understand better why this exists. And I think you should tell me who that is. And he would not for this reason. And I buy his reasoning. Do you trust these people?
No.
You trust these people not to cause you harm? If I was some rich guy trying to keep my head above water in Minneapolis and I slipped Kupchella a few bucks to help produce this documentary, I don't want these fruitcakes bothering me or coming to my business.
Which they would. Which they would.
I'm comfortable with that. I don't believe it's nefarious. I've watched it twice now. I've talked to Kupchella off the air 3 or 4 times. I'm not sensing anything except he's laying it out there.
Well, why is that funding issue an issue?
That's because the DSA holds capitalism in contempt, and they see this as an example of rich people trying to quiet them. They see this as rich people bringing down the hammer on their loftier goals, their more virtuous outlook on life.
So is all of their funding on the up and up and above the table?
Well, they wouldn't tell us that. But remember, Omar Fateh just said, given his endorsement of another Marxist, Ilhan Omar. There's too many Omars. It's like when Minnesota went through a series of governors all named either Elmer Anderson or Anderson Elmer.
Yes.
And so Omar said he's going to make the city more equal. That's at the root of the DSA. And the only way to do that is punishing taxation, redistribution of wealth, government control, you name it. That's the goal he has.
He also, just like Walz, is running against Trump.
Yeah, he's running against Trump. So Trump's trying to become mayor and governor of Minnesota.
Right.
Mayor of Minneapolis, governor of Minnesota. He's running for mayor of Illinois.
Yep. I believe, is it California too?
I think he's running for governor of California against Newsom. So he's really busy, really busy. But back to these pieces, the Star Tribune keeps trying desperately to make to poke holes in the documentary in defense of leftism, in defense of the radical extremists, the radical left extremists who always call any conservative thought the radical right. Well, then you're the radical left. and it's not working. That's what the documentary shows.
And to back you up with your accusation towards the Star Tribune, Matt McKinney did not write this piece alone, Joe.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He was joined by 4 other writers, one of which being Dina Winter, putting this piece together.
A lot of differing opinions on that.
But the left is trying to defend itself. The left is trying to say exactly what's pointed out in today's paper. They can't. They're trying, but they really haven't found a smoking gun. There isn't one. You got Minneapolis and St. Paul have big problems.
They don't come right out and criticize it openly. Did you notice that?
No, they're being a bit smug about it.
And I realize I'm getting far away from the topic, but I would love to take a nonpartisan journalism class on how to influence the public very subtly, because I think that's what they did here. Just the use of words and the way some of the sentences are structured. I just found this piece a fascinating read for not outwardly, but secretly isn't the right word, for trying to get a point across without it being glaring. You know what I'm trying to say here, Joe?
Yeah, and they're more than willing to let Wansley issue these ridiculous quotes.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
a good
put
point.
anybody in jail. Well, not yet. You haven't.
Right, and Chavez. I mean, come on, man.
He's way in over his head.
The people that don't pay attention might believe you, but those of us that do pay attention, oh my God, it's so glaring.
It's a conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't care about Minneapolis anymore, except Minneapolis and St. Paul seem to control the vote statewide. You know, we can vote for whoever we want out here, and it just doesn't matter.
I do care, and I have a vested interest in young families who stubbornly enough want to raise their families here. And I want there to be a city for them. And if St. Paul and Minneapolis don't clean house, there won't be a city for them to raise their families.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, my son is right there, down by Lake Nokomis, you know.
Say, I bet it was a great event that the Center of the American Experiment had on Friday night. They brought in Michael Schellenberger. That was a great event. I want you to remember to go to the Center of the American website. They're starting to take nominations for Turkey of the Year that's now celebrated with that great trophy. It's the Center of the American Experiment. They're a think tank. The radical left calls them a right-wing think tank. Well, that's because there is no left-wing think tank. What passes for a left-wing think tank is Robin Wansley, and she's not up to snuff here when it comes to the ideas that the American Experiment comes up with. They're a great team of people. I recommend that you check out their website. We do it on a daily basis. Center of the American Experiment. It's AmericanExperiment.org.
spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Soucheray.
I would like to point out.
Go ahead, John.
That these are all new bumps, and I've heard them all, 15 of them. And 2 of them were country. Those are the only 2 we've heard so far.
Oh, is that? I was going to say, is this a new theme with the country
No,
influence?
not at all.
Which I don't
Could we
disagree
hear
with.
maybe one of the other ones?
Well, he can't.
I just
you
hit the
only
button.
send 2 at a time?
No.
Yep.
I just hit the button.
Uh-huh.
They're on a rotation.
Oh.
Like you guys had bitched at me about I don't know.
It's a random rotator, I found out. So we have no control over which one plays.
That's not right. That is not right. That makes me very angry.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's like
if
everything
you're
else in
offended.
this world, we've lost control. Joe, do you know they make cars now that you can't even check the transmission oil? That's what's happened in our
Look what we've-
society. They've taken.
Oh, God.
You know, you can't
It's
control.
worse than that, Kenny. They make cars where you can't check the engine oil.
What in the world has happened to us?
Awaken180weightloss.com is the website for you to go, you know what, make those healthy changes in life. I've done that. It's made a great difference in my energy level. Also, you know what? Here's the deal with Awaken 180
They allowed
Weight
you to
Loss.
eat the taco salad?
I'm really glad you pointed that out on the show, Joe. Yeah, see, you are allowed one meal each day.
You want the light. You want the light one.
And it's a protein-rich diet is what you want to do with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
That's fine.
You know?
Can you remember that rule you used to have about Joe talking about other people's clients?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
it's
no, if they let you, I think
Joe,
that's an important point.
Joe, stop talking.
All right,
Joe.
Kenny. Okay, Kenny.
It's the proven weight loss program that's built for anyone. Here's the deal. You eat to lose weight, Joe. You eat to lose weight, increasing that metabolism. There's no medications. There's no workouts required. There's also no fasting. It's a solution that's worked for over 800,000 people, and it's a clear daily plan. There's no complicated tracking or counting. Everything is controlled through an app on your phone, and it's really easy to use. You get one-on-one weekly coaching for accountability and also adjustments, and your coach can even help you pick out restaurant menu items. It's an at-home program that's available, and it's easy to track and stay on track anywhere, built for any lifestyle. You can still go on vacation. You can still go out. You can still tailgate. You can still have drinks and stay on the plan. And there's thousands of recipes, so that way meals don't feel like diet food. It's fantastic. So check it out for yourself online today. Awaken180weightloss.com 180, or give them a call directly for that consultation at 844-346-1800. Awaken180weightloss.com. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's Mr. John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Banking Company. A defendant in the Feeding Our Future fraud investigation has changed his plea to guilty.
Is that Omar Fateh?
No,
Oh.
no. He did this Friday afternoon, just days ahead of his trial at the courthouse in Minneapolis. We talked about this fellow last week. You'll remember Abdi Wahab Muhammad admitted to wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering connected to false claims that he and others were making and serving free meals to kids during the pandemic under the sponsorship of Feeding Our Future. Investigators say Muhammad was part of a group that stole more than $17 million from the Federal Child Nutrition Program. All of his other co-defendants had already taken plea deals, but Muhammad was still scheduled to go on trial later this month. He was out of custody pending the outcome of his trial until Monday, and we remember this, we told you this last week, and prosecutors then accused him of witness tampering. Judge Nancy Brazel revoked Muhammad's release. He's been behind bars ever since. 76 people now have been charged overall in connection to Feeding Our Future. As you've already heard, Representative Ilhan Omar has endorsed State Senator Omar Fateh in his bid for Minneapolis mayor months after Omar condemned the state's DFL's decision to revoke the local party's endorsement of Fateh, calling Fateh a champion for working people.
Oh, God,
Omar
he's never
said
worked a day in his life.
Omar said Fateh stands out among the pool of 15 candidates, including incumbent Mayor Jacob Frey. Frey, by the way, has received endorsements from Governor Tim Walz and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Boy, the Walz endorsement or the Ilhan Omar endorsement is a distinction without a difference.
2 people are being treated at a hospital after suffering symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning at their home in Garfield. That's about 7 miles northwest of Alexandria. Dispatchers took a 911 call from a 47-year-old woman reporting symptoms of a heart attack just before 10:30 last night, according to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. However, the woman reported that her husband started experiencing a seizure. Authorities say dispatchers recognized the signs of possible carbon monoxide exposure and told the couple to get out of their home right away. Deputies, fire crews, and medics then responded, provided aid to the couple, who said they'd recently turned on their furnace for the season, didn't know it had any mechanical issues. The 2 were taken to a hospital, then airlifted to another facility for further medical treatment.
Airlifted? Wow.
Yeah, we have no condition yet, so we're not sure.
How old are they?
40. The woman was 47. There's no age for the man.
They will never in their lifetime pay off that airlifting bill. Seriously. I bet it cost them $100,000.
Do we charge people for that?
Yeah, we do. And insurance won't pay for it.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Never get airlifted.
Well,
hang
how
on.
about if it's life or death?
No, I would crawl on my belly with my intestines hanging out before I would allow them to put me on a
What have you
helicopter.
done?
It's cheaper to die than it is.
A Hibbing home demolished during an explosion.
It's cheaper to die.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at
You know,
it.
he's got a point.
Yep.
It sounds like a good line for a song, actually.
Just cheaper to die.
A Hibbing home demolished during an explosion that injured at least one person last night. That happened at about 6:40. Neighbors heard an explosion, saw the house was fully engulfed in flames. One person injured due to the explosion, transported to Hibbing Hospital for further care. The original home has been destroyed, and a second residence was extensively damaged. The cause of the explosion currently unknown.
Did you guys see the before and after pictures of the munitions factory in Tennessee that blew up?
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah.
19 people dead. They'll never find those people, by the way. They've become part of the air. There is nothing.
Yep.
It might as well have been hit by a nuclear blast.
Yep.
Holy mackerel.
Firefighters continuing to try and contain that wildfire in the North Shore Park that has grown to encompass 300 wooded acres. According to an update yesterday from the Minnesota Interagency Fire Center, the fire that has scorched hundreds of acres of maple trees and fall leaf litter in George H. Crosby Manitou State Park was about 50% contained. The blaze, which started by a lightning strike last Wednesday, was detected along a ridge near the Caribou River in the park, about 10 miles southwest of Tofte.
You know, the term leaf litter doesn't work for me.
Leaf litter?
What do you mean?
Leaves aren't litter.
They're part of the natural.
They're just part of life, and then they fall to the ground. They're not litter.
That kept me awake last night, to be truthful.
Yeah. Did it really?
Why, no, it didn't. Why don't we
Well, he got me.
But
He
you
got
know,
me.
it is
I
a
did.
good point because it's someone that's trying to be clever and provide alliteration, right? That's what bothers you
No,
with it.
I don't know. I'm not using the term.
Why don't
You
we,
also don't like leaf peeping.
You often make reference to the day America died was the day, well, it was something to do with the town dog being put on leashes, right?
Well,
Wasn't that you?
Yes, it was Joe. Yes.
And would you say the same thing about us not being allowed to burn leaves
Yes.
anymore?
Yes.
Because that smell, I love
One
that
of the
smell.
greatest smells of humanity.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's so
Like a
wonderful.
And
nice-
nothing better when you see it, a haze of leaf smoke above
Yes.
the lake.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's like a nice backyard fire in the fall.
it's not the same. Oh, Jesus.
I love the smell of leaf litter.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
Americana.
John, it's not litter.
Why don't we take a quick
It's like
break
watching a
here?
combine go to work at
Oh,
sunset.
here we go.
Yeah, why don't
Rook.
you take the 3-hour route
Rook.
home so you can stare at some dust?
Rook, will you save us here, please?
Hey, things are heating up in Garage Logic. We better cool it down a little bit with the call to Welter. Welter Heating, the Welter family. They're very warm and cozy, Joe.
Do they believe in leaf litter?
One of
They
these
believe
days, Alice.
they believe that the leaves will fall, which means put your air conditioner to bed the proper way. Have it get placed to bed by one of their certified techs that will come out and put that air conditioning unit that's been making some noises, or maybe it's just time. Maybe it hasn't been done for 10 years. Get it done right now. Put it to rest properly for the winter. While they're there, they can take a look at your furnace, and they'll make sure that's up and running properly. You are going to need it. This warmth isn't going to last forever. However, I will say 4 generations and 120 plus years, that's not forever, but that's a long time with the Welter family. What that means is they have the know-how. Yes, their certified techs have kept up with all the heating units, the cooling units, the air purification systems. And if you call and make an appointment, you'll get a human answering the phone during business hours, 612-825-6867. Or you can go online to welterheating.com and schedule an appointment online if you'd like to. Their blog will help with any questions that you may have and may answer a question without a service call. They welcome that. Do yourself a favor, Soucheray. At the Soucheray estate, they always go with Welter Heating online at welterheating.com. Okay, well, at least I do anyway. And you should too. They're trustworthy garage logicians full of common sense. welterheating.com. This winter, warm up your shelter with the 59 seconds from Mr. Welter.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Soucheray Show.
Dang, these are good.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know who else is good? North American Banking Company, and they are here to help you solve all of your financial needs. Whether you're looking at personal banking, whether you own a business, whatever the case might be, North American Banking Company is here to help you navigate all of those waters. And you know what? They've been doing it since 1998, locally owned and operated. And back then, they wanted to offer a different banking experience where you get to know your banker and they also know you. And while a lot of that has changed since then, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities, that has not. And you get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's 50th and France, Roseville, Woodbury, Hastings, Maple Grove. They offer all of the services as the other big national banks, whether you're looking to buy a home, perhaps finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been dreaming about. They can make that happen. So your first step can be checking them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently.
Look, go ahead.
North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
Okay, before John speaks, I have a serious question about the bumps. You say they're on a rotator?
Yes.
Well, would you be mixing in old ones with the new ones, or are we just going to get 15 straight new Dylans on a rotation and then start hearing the old ones on a rotation?
I can find out the
How
answer
about the
to that.
whole thing get mixed up and like making a salad, jumble it all together?
All right. Yeah. Joe wants a salad.
I want control back. I want to be able to pick and choose myself.
Kenny,
I'm a grown adult with, 40 years of producing. I don't need anybody to produce
I heard
for
a
me.
little Carlos Santana in that one. Ooh. Channeling Carlos. He can channel anybody.
There's a lot of them with a lot of guitar. Although I did have to tell him, he'd put a solo 40 seconds in, and I'd say,
no.
Really? Because,
17
10 seconds.
in,
We're going to hear 10 seconds.
Let's go here.
In national and international news, President Trump told Israeli lawmakers today that their country had no more to achieve on the battlefield and must work toward peace in the Middle East after 2 years of war against Hamas and skirmishes with Hezbollah and Iran. Although the U.S. brokered truce between Israel and Hamas remains fragile, those close to the president say he is determined to seize an opportunity to chase down the elusive regional harmony for that region. In an unexpected detour, Trump called on the Israeli president to pardon Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who he described as one of the greatest wartime leaders. Netanyahu is facing corruption charges, although several hearings have been postponed because of the conflict with Hamas. Trump promised to help rebuild Gaza, which has been devastated during the conflict, and urged Palestinians to, in his words, turn forever from the path of terror and violence. The U.S. president then headed to Egypt. He has a summit there with more than 24 other nations, although he was running hours late because speeches at the Knesset continued longer than expected. 20 hostages were released as part of an agreement intended to end the war that began on October 27, 2023. The president talked with some of their families at the Knesset. Most Israeli lawmakers chanted Trump's name and gave him standing ovation after standing ovation. Some people in the audience wore red hats that resembled his Make America Great Again caps, although those versions said Trump, the peace president. Several lawmakers had to be removed from the chambers for protesting what they said was genocide in Gaza.
Are we to understand that the deceased hostages will not be returned?
They are working on getting 4 deceased hostages' bodies back. That's the last I saw. The rest, they were unsure of where that was going.
So I'm watching that this morning with the sound turned down, and you mentioned those 2 protesters. They had them up and out of there within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know where these people came from. They emerged out of the shadows, but it was all over in 15 seconds. Both guys were out of there. I couldn't believe how fast and efficient they work.
Top Republicans and Democrats yesterday digging in their heels as the government shutdown continues, blaming the other side while Americans worry about jobs, military pay, and more. Democrats continuing to call for health care concessions before they vote to reopen the government's doors. As for today, Republican Speaker Mike Johnson predicted this morning the federal government shutdown might become the longest in U.S. history, saying he won't negotiate with Democrats until they hit pause on those health care demands and reopen.
Is the biggest demand, John, the fact that the Democrats do still want health care coverage for illegal immigrants?
Well, no, there's nothing in the bill that says illegal immigrants would get free health care, and they never have.
But no, that's not true, John.
No, I don't think that is true.
That's true.
Well, we'll have to argue about that.
We'll have to argue about it later, yeah. Okay. U.S. stock futures rose early today as President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance signaled they are open to a deal with China to de-escalate trade tensions after the president threatened to impose an additional 100% tariff on Chinese goods on Friday in response to Beijing's expansion of export controls on critical rare earth minerals. A post Friday from the president had caused a sharp drop on Wall Street. In a Truth Social post today, the president appeared to soften his tone on China, saying, "Don't worry about China. It will all be fine." A Republican challenge on a core provision of the U.S. wanted to help China, he said, not hurt it. A heartbroken owner and staff are left picking up the pieces after what was supposed to be a fun night turned tragic when gunfire rang outside a South Carolina bar. The owner of Willie's Bar and Grill, Willie Terrell, was emotional about the events. He said the bar was hosting Battery Creek High School's alumni weekend when the shots rang out. 4 people killed, at least 20 injured, according to the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. The restaurant bar is noted in the area for its laid-back feel. Hundreds of people were in the restaurant when the shooting itself happened. Multiple victims and witnesses ran to nearby businesses and properties seeking shelter from the gunfire. Names of the victims have not yet been released at this point, and the sheriff's office said they have not arrested anybody, but they are said, quote, "We're investigating persons of interest in the shooting." Meanwhile, in Mississippi, 8 people dead, more than 20 injured in 3 separate high school homecoming celebrations that ended in gunfire. The most deadly of the shootings took place in the downtown area of Leland, Mississippi around midnight. 4 people killed at the scene and 2 later died at the hospital.
There were 3 homecoming incidents?
3 different incidents in 3 different cities in Mississippi. A nor'easter churning its way up the East Coast yesterday, washing out roads and prompting air travel delays as heavily populated areas of the Northeast experienced excessive rain, lashing winds, and coastal floodings. Across the continent in western Alaska, the remnants of Typhoon Halong brought hurricane-force winds and catastrophic flooding to coastal communities, pushing entire houses off their foundation. Rescue aircraft were sent to the tiny Alaskan villages of Kipnuk and Quilliginkok, where there were reports of up to 20 people possibly unaccounted for. The area is one of the most isolated in the U.S., where some communities have few roads. Residents use boardwalks, boats, and snowmobiles to get around. Diane Keaton dying Saturday at the age of 79. The cause of death not immediately known. She began her acting career in the Broadway musical Hair. In 1969, she received a Tony nomination for her role in Woody Allen's Play It Again, Sam. She expanded to films in the 70s. You'll remember she was Michael Corleone's love interest in the Godfather trilogy, and then earned an Oscar for her role in Allen's Annie Hall in 1977. She appeared in over 100 movies, including many box office hits. She was 79 years old.
I really liked her. I thought she was pretty cool.
Yeah, very good.
Give me, both of you, give me your opinion on the movie Annie Hall.
I thought it was hilarious.
Top 5er
Love
for me,
it.
actually.
Love it. My favorite line is when they park the Volkswagen about 3 feet from the curb. I'll walk from here.
I'll walk from here.
That movie made me angry.
I'm sure it did.
Really? That's interesting.
In what sense could it have made you angry?
I've never given it any thought. It's just I remember being angry watching it, and I remember being angry afterwards, and I didn't like the hat she was wearing or her hair, and I didn't like Woody Allen, and all of it. It actually made me hate New York.
Okay, I can see you
York.
being angry at Woody Allen's character because he would drive anybody crazy. Elvie. He would drive anybody crazy.
Yeah.
Her character I thought was all right.
Yeah.
When they went to Wisconsin, it was a little odd.
Too much that movie had too much influence on the way women dressed.
Well, there is that, Kenny. She was quite known for that.
In Kentucky,
she liked to wear pants.
It was the hat more.
She had a big hat.
The hat.
She had a big hat.
La-di-da.
Yeah, la-di-da, la-di-da.
I'm not here to poo-poo on The Godfather. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But wasn't there a massive age difference between those two?
No.
No, it was the Pacino character.
I know, but weren't they?
No, they were both about 30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a lot younger.
No. I think she didn't wear any hats in that movie.
I thought in that movie,
big hats.
In that movie, she did an excellent job of being really, really irritating.
So what we're getting here is you were a big Diane Keaton.
I think Diane rubbed you the wrong way her whole career.
I've never given it a lot of thought. Maybe I don't hate her, but yeah, she bugged me.
She had a very porcelain style baby face in that movie, right?
In Godfather?
Yeah, that's why she looks so much younger than him. Maybe that's.
I think
she wasn't the love interest, Johnny. She was the wife.
Yeah. And she died at 79, and Pacino's 84. So in real life, Chris, there's 5 years.
Okay,
5-year difference.
I thought it was more than that.
And I don't know about the characters.
I mean, she's got to know better. Don't ask the husband what he does for a living.
Right.
I mean,
just enjoy the life.
Yeah. Just.
She's lucky she didn't get sent out there in an aluminum fishing boat.
In that rowboat with Frito, Fred.
In Kentucky, a man in Powell County is facing charges after his Halloween decorations depicted the bodies of local officials.
Oh
God.
According to an arrest citation, Stephen Markham was arrested on Saturday. He's charged with intimidating a witness in the legal process and third-degree terroristic threatening. Police report they received a call regarding potential witness terroristic threatening just after 2 p.m. at a home in Stanton. When authorities got there, they saw 5 bodies in trash bags in the yard, and they were all labeled. One hanging was labeled District Judge. There was a rope around the neck of the body. From left to right, the 4 other bodies were labeled Mayor, CA, CIS, I don't know what CIS means, and Zoning Manager.
You know what the problem is? People don't know what's funny.
Yeah.
And you know funny.
I know funny.
I think he was just
That's not funny.
He was an angry guy.
Tell me if this is funny. I haven't seen it in a while, but it was when Biden was president. There was a full-size sticker that goes on the back of your tailgate of your pickup.
Right.
And it looks like the inside of your pickup bed, right?
Right.
In the bed is President Biden hogtied.
Not funny.
Not funny.
I almost drove off the road. I was laughing so hard.
I would like to point out that was retweeted by our current president at the time. So
I was crying. I was laughing.
I can understand.
There was also, Kenny, one that made the rounds. This is a couple of weeks ago where a guy, I believe it was driving a Dodge Ram, big heavy duty, and on the front of the grill, it was an image of a guy in a black hooded sweatshirt. On the back, it just said Antifa, looking as though he just got rammed into through a protest. That's funny.
I might have a troubled sense of humor.
You may. Would you like some more, Joe? I mean,
no,
it's getting kind of late.
That's fine.
I don't want to.
What time are you calling me?
Say, I'm speaking to you for Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Attorneys. If you're like me or other people, you may not know what to do if you're ever injured in an accident. Insurance companies and adjusters can be tough to deal with. You need a team. That's where Mike Bryant and his team come in. They'll explain your rights, represent you, and help you through a difficult time. For 6 consecutive years, Mike has been recognized as a super lawyer and has been named among Minnesota's top 40 personal injury lawyers by Minnesota Law and Politics. That's the real deal. Bradshaw and Bryant hopes you're never in an accident, but if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant at 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com for a free case evaluation. And Bradshaw and Bryant says, don't be part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Oh, this guy is good.
Dang.
I love that.
I almost hate to interrupt this.
I don't want you to.
Well, I have to tell you
Turn
what.
it up a bit. You'll get back to it.
Okay.
We'll get back to it.
Damn.
Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Now we've gone for no bumps to the best bumps in podcasting.
I think I'm fading here. Nope, maybe not. Hofferman Water and Connecticut are here for you, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Now is the perfect time to get on that schedule and have them come up for that free water analysis. You can do that one of two ways. You can visit their website, which is hoffermanwater.com. And then when you're on that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer, whether it's a brand new water softener, maybe an iron, rust, and odor filtration system, or a brand new drinking water system, or heck, get all three. Why not? Do yourself a favor and upgrade the quality of that water. You can also give them a call directly at 612-895-2440. But either way, get on the schedule. They're going to come out and give you that free water analysis and then give you this thing that's called a water score. And then based upon that water score, they're going to give you suggestions on how they can upgrade the quality of your water. They have done that for me many times. They will do that for you as well. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe?
Only. Yes, sir. Because they come to us all the way from Barcelona, Spain, and the traveling Lymans, who can be followed at worldwidewaftage.com. It was on this day.
Joe, today is October 13th.
In 1857, the state constitution was ratified by popular vote. In the accompanying gubernatorial election, Henry H. Sibley beat Alexander Ramsey by 240 votes out of 35,340 cast. On this day,
October 13th,
in 1893, celebrating Minnesota Day at the World's Fair in Chicago, 20,000 of the state's residents viewed exhibits of the state's resources and heard the first Minnesota Regiment Band. On this day,
Joe, today is October 13th.
In 1919, author Kathleen Winsor was born in Olivia. Her novel, Forever Amber, published in 1944, was banned in Boston because of its sexual content. With that publicity, it became a bestseller. I don't think I've ever read Forever Amber.
What was it, like Lady Chatterley's lover?
I don't know. She'd be 104, wouldn't she? If she was alive. Let's see, 1919. 1904, 4 and 9 is
6.
I don't know how old she'd be.
Did you carry the two? Did you carry
On this day,
116.
On this day,
October 13th.
In 1990, what happened in local sports?
1990, October 13th.
The Target Center Arena opened in Minneapolis.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So we played the first year at the Dome.
That's right. On this day,
October 13th.
In 2014, Indigenous Peoples Day officially replaced Columbus Day in Minneapolis. 500 people, including White Earth Land Recovery Project founder Winona LaDuke, and American Indian Movement co-founder Clyde Bellecourt, commemorated the day at the American Indian Center. On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
Who'd we lose to, Joe, on October 13th?
Well, on October 13th, Chris, 1972, the Fighting Saints played their first game ever and lost to the Winnipeg Jets. And on this day,
October 13th,
in 2002, Twins lost the ALCS to Anaheim 4-1.
Yep.
That's
and they won the first game of that series.
That's a sports disappointment, isn't it?
Quick question. The Winnipeg Jets were an independent team before they joined the NHL?
They would have been probably in the They were either in, what was the rival league to the NHL? Edmonton, Winnipeg, where Gretzky played in the rival league.
Oh.
What was the rival league?
I don't know. You're the host of North Star Confidential.
John, what am I thinking of?
I don't know anything about
AHL.
The World Hockey Association? That's where Winnipeg was. Whatever.
Original Jets were in the World Hockey Association.
Yeah, I got it. World Hockey Association. And then there was the merger, and then Winnipeg didn't have a team that might have ended up in Phoenix. Then that's gone off to be in Salt Lake City. And Winnipeg Jets, the present version, are an expansion team.
They had the AHL and the ECHL was the next level down. And then, as John mentioned, the World Hockey Association from 72 to 79.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, GLers.
Yes. Do us a favor, if you have not done so already. You should join the 18,000 subscribers that we have on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. You can also see full segments. There's video shorts. There's behind-the-scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube. And search for us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com.
Why did the market go up today?
Yes.